Hi, welcome to Rock and Metal Invasion. My name is Steve. Today I'm doing rare hair metal vinyl. I'm going to show you some of my rare albums that I have in my collection that fit the hair metal category. Basically, I'm talking 80s hard rock, early 90s hard rock bands. And also I'm going to show you some CDs that that I don't have on vinyl. Some albums that I have on CD that are available on vinyl, but I haven't been able to track those down on vinyl. And also some CDs that never had a vinyl release. So let's get into the vinyl that I do have. First up, this is a band, I think they're from Canada, and they're called Big House. So yeah, not an easy one to get on vinyl. Released on RCA in 1991. To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of these guys, but yep, looking on Discogs, it's not easy to find and is selling for quite a bit. Another one that's not easy to find, and again, a little bit of an obscure band, but again, not all of these bands were necessarily popular either back in the day or even now, but because there's very, I guess, not a lot of copies or records were issued, that's sort of made them rare and hard to find. Child's Play, and this is their, I think it's just a one and done sort of band, really. I could be wrong about that, but certainly this is the only one I know about and have got. It's really good, actually. This is, again, 1991. 1990 on Chrysalis. So 1990, but yeah, not easy to get on vinyl. Actually, not really easy to get full stop, but some good songs on this one. Skusiskin. Now, this is actually 1992, and it only was released, I think, in Europe on vinyl. Really good, hard rock. Released on Giant in 1992, and if the Wars Could Talk was a single, really good song, and it is available on vinyl. Some people may not know that, but not easy to get or find. War Babies, this is a really good albums. Another one and done. A lot of these I think are one and done albums, and again a lot are not actually 80s but early 90s. So it's one of those early 90s, 91, 92. Bands that fit the sort of hair metal category that often did not have a vinyl release in, say, the States or even maybe the UK, but Europe, perhaps they got one. So very limited release on vinyl. This is probably an example of that. Really good. This features Brad Sinsel on vocals, and really good stuff. But now this is, I don't have the first album, and that's also a rare and hard to get album, but I do have the second one, which is possibly even rarer and harder to get. Trickster. And here, I'm actually not that, I did used to have the first album, to be honest. I sold it. I'm not a big fan of the first one, but I do like this one. This is their second album called Here, and Blood Rock, that's a really good song. This is a bit heavier, this album. Released in 1992 on MCA. Not easy to get on vinyl. This is another, obscure perhaps to some. Some may know about it. They do actually, I think, have another album after this. Maybe it was one of those ones that was recorded after their debut and then was shelved and then was put out later. I think it might have been one of those deals. But anyway, this is the first album, Wild Horses, and the album is called Bareback. Really good. You know, if you like Whitesnake, 87 sort of period Whitesnake, it's actually produced by Keith Olsen. It's got James Kotak on drums, from Kingdom Come, and of course he goes on to Scorpions. Released in 1991 on Atlantic. But not easy to find on vinyl. This is really not an easy one to get on vinyl, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who would love this to be reissued on vinyl, because I know there's a lot of people who love this band. Wildside and Under the Influence, really good album. This is such a good album, but of course, released in 1992 and produced by Andy Johns. Hang On Lucy, that's a standout song for me on this one. But lots of really good songs. Drew Hanna's got a great voice. He can really sing. Brent Woods is the guitarist, and of course he's still going today. He's still playing for, I think he plays for Vince Neil. Maybe he's played for Slaughter as well. He's kind of still going, got a career out of it. the vocalist, Drew Hanna, he sounds really good. I don't know why he kind of didn't carry on. He did a fantastic interview with, if you go to the Crash Course Metal show, you can see an interview he did on that channel. Trevor's been on my show and I've been on his channel as well. So if you're interested, go check out an excellent interview that he did on Trevor's channel. But yeah, good, really good album, this one. Like I said, Hang On Lucy's good, but also I like Clock Strikes. Just Another Night actually is a ballad, but it's a good one. Could have been a hit, but 1992. It just took too long. But yeah, that album got released. Got recorded in Eddie Van Halen's studio. So yeah, and they were hanging out with Eddie and stuff, and that's the, I guess, the Andy Johns connection as well, because he was producing the Van Halen record at that time as well. But like I said, go check out that interview that he did on Trevor's channel, because he talks all about that. It's really interesting. Shotgun Messiah, this is Second Coming. This is from 1991, I think. 91. Released on Relativity Records. This is a good one too. Man, this is so many good songs. This is the album where Tim Skold takes over on vocals. I think he does a great job. I love his solo work that he's gone on to do as well. Not all of it, but some of it. He ends up in Marilyn Manson, and he sort of does sort of more industrial metal kind of stuff now. But also the album that they do after this, where they sort of go down that sort of industrial metal kind of road, is also really good as well. So Violent New Breed, it's really good. But yeah, Living Without You could have been a hit single, I think. Heartbreak Boulevard, that is fantastic. And the guitarist, Harry Cody, he is really good, really good guitarist. I don't know quite why he didn't carry on and do more, but yeah, it's a great album. And I've got to show this one, of course, Blue Murder, Nothing But Trouble, just to make Dan feel a little bit jealous. But yeah, it's a Korean pressing, but it's the only place it was pressed. So pretty lucky to have this one, because it's super hard to get. And yeah, such a great band as well. Not as good, of course, as the first album. Well, I don't think so, but it's still a good album. And of course, I think I've shown that before. I've shown this one before as well, I think. McQueen Street. Yeah, pretty good sort of solid hard rock from 1991 on SBK Records. It's nothing amazing, but it is rare and in demand because it's hard to get, hard to find. This one's a good one to have in my collection because I really love this band. Love the album. Their first album was really good, and this one is one of those ones where you think they're not going to match the first album. They almost did. Maybe they did. In fact, maybe it's even better. It's so good it's hard to judge. XYZ and Hungry. Notice I said XYZ, being in New Zealand. I guess XYZ is how most people would say it. But yeah, Hungry. So I think this is a Korean pressing as well. Yeah, 1991 on Capitol Records. There might be a European pressing. I'm not sure, but it's not easy to get any pressing of this. So yeah, but Face Down in the Gutter, that's a good rocker. But also some of the more mid-tempo songs. When the Night Comes is really good. When I Find Love, I like those songs. So yeah, it's a good one to have. Next one, Kicks, Hot Wire. Of course, these guys have just retired. But yeah, this album, I think it's a really solid album. But of course, this is 91 sort of period, and yeah, bands like this are starting to lose favour. Produced by Taylor Rhodes, who's quite a well-known sort of songwriter. I've been talking about him a little bit on my Y&T reviews that I've been doing. But Tear Down the Walls, I think that could just be to me, that's just as much of a hit as Don't Close Your Eyes. Bump the La La is a good song. Girl Money, yeah, some really good ones on this. But yeah, not easy to get, not easy to find on vinyl. Of course, now some of these there are unofficial vinyl releases. I'm not counting those, so I'm saying basically if you want an official release, yeah, these are not easy to get or easy to find. And this one may never get a reissue, but it's not easy to find on vinyl. Badlands, the first one's not easy either, But this one even harder, I think. Voodoo Highway. Not as good as their first album, but I really like The Last Time. That was a great song. And, you know, this is a quality band, so it's why I'm saying it's not as good as their first album. It's still a good, really good album. I like the album artwork too, so yeah, nice to have a vinyl copy of this. Shown this one before because I've talked about this album and done a review of it when I was doing a comparison. Actually, Trevor Knight from Crash Course Metal Show was on here with me doing it, and we were comparing MLE Crew 94 with this album, the Vince Neil solo album. Not easy to get on vinyl. And this is because this is like 1993, I think. And you'd think it's 1993, but yeah, Vince is just releasing what you'd have to say is just a total hair metal album, unlike MLE Crew in 94, where they sort of maybe they're moving with the times a little bit, or they're changing the sound a little bit. This just sounds like 80s MLE Crew, and it's pretty good. Now this is an interesting one. This is Kingdom Come. Now I love this band. And I mean, I love like their first 4 or 5 albums, at least probably. And in fact, you know, they're very prolific, especially, you know, when you think about, okay, so, you know, the first album I think came out 88, something like that. And then they had In Your Face. And then they had another one before this one. So I think this is their 4th album. And then even a couple more albums after this are really good as well. This is actually my favorite Kingdom Come album. But it's not easy to get on vinyl, but it is available on vinyl. But what's interesting or weird about this is I've got the cover is actually it's a Russian cover. So if you look on the other side, this is the Russian edition of the album. But I did manage to get, someone was selling the record without the cover. So I've got the official vinyl release of the album. But it's got 2 records in it, so I don't know if this one is going to end up when I show it. Is this one the Russian one, or is this the official release one? Okay, so this is the Russian one, which doesn't sound that great. And so initially I got this thinking, oh, well, this is as good as I can get. But then someone was selling the actual official release, so I've got and it sounds great. So yeah, so I just haven't got the official cover, but I have got the official vinyl, and it almost looks like the front does anyway. So I'm happy with that because it's super hard to get. So, and it's, like I say, my favorite Kingdom Come album, so it's great to have that on vinyl. So that's kind of pretty much it. There's probably a few other things in my collection that I didn't even realize was rare. I was a bit surprised about Big House. I was like, checked it, you know, Discogs. I was like, okay, actually that is rare and not easy to get. So, and there might be some other ones in there as well, but they're the ones I picked out, and you know, just a couple more to show, just out of interest. So, like this one here, Britney Fox, Bite Down Hard. This is still rare and hard to get. If you want to, this is an original issue. So this is the one that came out in 1991 on Atlantic. Of course, it's been reissued by Real Gone Music, and I don't know if that impacts on the value of the record, because some people just really want the original, the OG sort of thing. So I don't know, but I kind of think I don't really mind too much. I'd be quite happy to have, as long as the pressing's good, happy to have the Real Gone Music. But you know, I just happen to have an original pressing of it. But and I did consider when I heard that was coming out, I was like, oh, maybe I should sell this. But I kept it. And looking on Discogs, it's still holding its value. Like even though the Real Gone Music copy's been out for a while, people are still spending lots of money buying an OG. So because I looked at the sales history, so it's actually still worth money, even though you can easily get a copy of this album on vinyl now, at a reasonable sort of a price. And just talking about Real Gone Music, so I had been waiting a long time for Unruly Child, here's the album, to be reissued on vinyl, or hoping that I might be able to pick it up, because there was an original issue of it, but it was always like a lot of money. I had more money than I wanted to spend on it. So I just waited, and yeah, there we go. So it does happen. So I guess that's what I'm sort of saying with some of these albums that I'm showing you. They might think, oh, I don't want to spend $200-300 on, even though I like the album on a record, and I totally get you. I wouldn't either. But maybe what will happen if some of these records I've showed, you'd like to get on vinyl, and they're just too expensive. Maybe Real Gone Music or another record company will look at reissuing them on vinyl, because there's obviously demand because they're selling on Discogs at crazy prices. I'll just show some CDs now that you can get them on vinyl, but I don't have them. And some of them I'm not that fussed about. Like, for example, Roxy Blue wants some. Even if it got reissued, I wouldn't go out my way, to be honest. I know some people love it, and you probably think it's the kind of thing I would like. It's okay. I did have it. I had it on vinyl, and I sold it because I was just like, I knew it had good value, and I thought, I'm not that fussed about it, but I'm happy to have it on CD. But it is available on vinyl. Now, this one I would like on vinyl, and I didn't even think it was available, but now I have seen that in Venezuela or something, it is available. Other people have talked about it as well, a few other people anyway. I Napoleon, so yeah, supposedly there's a vinyl copy out there, but super rare. And this is a good album. It's interesting, different, but yeah. So vinyl reissue would be good, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Now, this one here, MLE Crew, 94 album, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? Why are they not really, releasing this on vinyl? I think I know why, but you'd think just the money would make it worth their while. I don't know, because I think that would motivate them. But again, it is available on vinyl. You can get it. It's really gone up in value over the last few years. I remember a few years ago seeing it, thinking, oh, maybe I should get it, because I do like the album. It was like $100 or something. I think might have been a Korean pressing, but still, wasn't like the amount of money it is now. But so I kind of thought I probably should have got it, but I didn't. I missed out. But there we go. It is available, but MLE Crew, just like reissue it, please. You're reissuing all your other albums, putting out box sets, and being reissued multiple times, but that one you're not going to reissue. People like it. Anyway. Right, the next few that I'm going to show, I've only got the CD of, and to my knowledge, there's no vinyl pressing of it. So it needs, if we want it on vinyl, well, it needs to be issued on vinyl. A lot of these, I'm really not overly hopeful of that happening. But then again, I never really thought Unruly Child would, and it did. So you just never know. But it's a bit of a surprise too, some of these, that they didn't get a vinyl reissue, because some of them are like 91. Which, I know in some places vinyl was out, but not everywhere. But anyway, Bad Romance, Code of Honor. It's a really good album. I like this one. Joanna Dean is the vocalist, and she's great. And she did a solo album, then she sort of changed it to more of a band type thing, but and actually much better than her first solo album. But bluesy, sort of hard rock, kind of like a female-fronted Cinderella kind of thing. And she does do a really cool duet with Tom Kiefer. Love Hurts. You can see that on YouTube. In fact, they even do it on the album. So it's on the album as well. I think he duets with her on the album here. But it needs a vinyl issue. But anyway, I don't know if the world is really waiting for a Bad Romance vinyl issue, but you never know. This one surprised me. And their first album did get a reissue on vinyl on Real Gone Music a few years ago, so maybe it'll happen. Baton Rouge and Lights Out in the Playground. So this is 1991, I'm pretty sure, and it never got a vinyl issue, so it never been put on vinyl. That's a good album. I might even prefer this to their first one, but I like the first one too. So it's Jack Ponte production. But really good hard rock, so it'd be nice. Sleaze Bees, Power Tool, I kind of get it. This is 92, I think. I think it's 92. I think it is. But anyway, it's hard to read. But so I guess that's why there's no vinyl. But Miracle's a good song. That's the last song on the album. I don't like this one as much as their first one, but still, Be nice to have on vinyl, but Sleaze Bees, yeah. And actually, their first album's not easy to get on vinyl. I've got it, but yeah, not always an easy one to find. Can be a bit pricey too, I think. But yeah, no vinyl for this one. So maybe one day. This is a slightly obscure band. It took me a while. I didn't find this back in the day. I don't know when I did, but it was sort of well after its release date. And the band is called Flame. I think it's just self-titled. They're called Flame. But it's got some good songs on it. This is definitely 92 on Warner Brothers. Understandably, yeah, there's no vinyl for this. But yeah, it's got some good tracks. I wouldn't mind it on vinyl. So maybe one day, maybe. This guy, Mitch Malloy, 1992 again. Desmond Child, I think, may have written some songs with him. But yeah, it's not heavy. It's hard rock. Melodic, sort of AOR even at times. He was nearly the vocalist for Van Halen there for a while. Well, he was sort of in the band for a little bit, but yeah. All or Nothing. Oh, sorry, not All or Nothing. Anything at All. That's a really good song. I like that one. And even some of the like the ballads, like Nobody Wins in This War, is good. I like that one too. Yeah, I think I've got Anything at All on 7-inch, so like a single, but yeah, not the album. You can't get the album on vinyl. So yeah, sometimes that's what I've done. It's like, well, I can't get the album on vinyl. I'll pick up the single. Some of these maybe you can get a single on vinyl or a promo or something like that. But yeah, no album. And last one, my favorite Axel Rudy Pell album, Eternal Prisoner. This is from '92, but yeah, I guess not surprising. There's no vinyl. His previous album is on vinyl, but yeah, not this one. And I think it's his best one. Like Long Time, fantastic. Sweet Little Susie. Yeah, lots of really good songs. I love the riffs, and it's Jeff Scott Soto on vocals. He's always, I think, sounds fantastic. And yeah, there we go. So that's my sort of wish list, I guess, of albums I'd like to see issued on vinyl or reissued on vinyl. And also, I guess, showing you some of the ones I have been lucky enough to get on vinyl. I hope you found that interesting. Yeah, leave your comments if you've got any comments or questions. Hit the thumbs up button, please, if you enjoyed the episode. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Okay, that's it for now. We'll catch you later. See ya.